Okay, welcome back. My contract with Sakaki is at an end, and I'm no longer obligated to guard her. Our classmates were uniformly surprised by the news, but they haven't pestered Sakaki about her reasons. I think they are more or less figured out why she made that painful decision. Akina, you ready to go? Amin had a shopping list too, didn't she? Don't forget it or things might get scary later. I hate you, Makina. I so hate you, especially with your frickin' grammars. Okay, kid, you're just off character now. Don't tally-ho me, Makina. Her feet pattering noisily against the stupid fly. Noisily against the carpet, Makina heads up to Armin's room. On the other side of the lobby, Sachi is stooping slightly in the attentive pose of an old-time newspaper reporter, jotting down Sakaki's words in a small memo pad.
はい、わかりました。ごめんなさい。あまり外に出るわけにはいかないから。いいんです。遠慮されずに何でもお申し付けください。ありがとう。
But there's no scoop involved. We're going out for a shopping trip, so Sakaki's asking us to pick up a few things just like Amin. I hate you. As you guys already know, I'm a grammar Nazi. I don't like spelling mistakes. Even though I make some spelling mistakes, it's either because I don't use the word enough and I forget how to spell it, or I'm writing it down too quickly. I'll always double check and make sure that I made that mistake. Yeah. Answering my younger classmates, I glanced to the far side of the lobby. Sakaki's been reading on a sofa at the side of the large front windows for a while now, but from the desultory way she's picking through the pages, I think it's safe to say she isn't particularly focused on the story. She glances up from the pages briefly. Our eyes meet from across the room. Sakaki looks away, gets to her feet, and walks off in the direction of her room.
Kazami-san?
Right, yeah, about time we get going. We got going. Since we're leaving me of my position, Sakaki hasn't set foot outside the school walls. That's partially because of her own instinct for self-preservation and partially because of me. The girls decided it's no longer possible to actively protect herself against the clear threat posed by those attackers. She dismissed me so I wouldn't be dragged into a losing battle on her behalf. But even after that, I continue keeping an eye on Saki. If more indirectly than before, I try to keep my distance, but I'm never too far away to respond in case something happens. I think Sakaki is faintly aware of that. It's a part of the reason she's shutting herself in the dorm instead of going outside and making my life harder. It's not like she comes out and told me any of this, of course. Considering her behavior until now, it seems like a natural interpretation. Saki faintly rejected the life of a bird in a cage, acting as she pleased even in the face of threats. But now she's locked up once again. My determination to protect the girl is a part of what's now fencing her in. It's honestly pretty damn frustrating. Amin's shopping list isn't too huge today, and my young classmates only need a few things themselves, all of which we find easily enough. That said, the total time estimate of this trip turns out to be fairly sizable. Sakaki's shopping list reflects her personality. It's neatly and methodically written, even naming specific manufacturers and product numbers. And Sachi insisted we conduct a painstaking hunt for the exact items described, so this final part of the trip is taking longer than the rest combined. Ah.
でもここまで細かく言っていただけると買う方としては助かります。
Sachi. Could you say perfectionist or just, I don't know how to describe her at all. Sachi smiles peacefully, allowing the eco-friendly reusable shopping bags dangling from her hands to sway back and forth. Actually, she brought enough of those things for all of us. Not that it's anything new, but you sure are on top of things, Sachi.
はい、備えあれば憂いなしと申しますから、すべてにおいて通じる言葉です。
Yeah, true enough. They love that cliche in my workplace too.
避妊用品も常に持ち合わせていれば、あ、と思った際にも慌てずに済みますよね。つまりはそういうことです。
Right, sure. It's a bit late to eliminate my role in the rising levels of vulgarity around here, but a girl who comes off as innocence personified starts talking like this, I can't help feeling a little guilty. But then again, lately I've been starting to think a good part of the problem might lie inside Sachi herself. But as I'm considering the matter, Sachi comes to stop with a small surprise sound. Gazing a little way down the street with a curious expression on her face. What's wrong, Sachi? I turn to follow her gaze. What the hell is that woman doing? A certain blonde has parked herself by the side of the road. Why am I not surprised? Let's go in the driver's seat of her tacky, bright yellow sports car. She kicks her bare legs into the air in a tacky display of irritation, turning every male head in the area. She's putting on a big show of waiting for someone, looking down at her watch with a pouty expression of boredom, occasionally even whining to her audience. You have no idea. None whatsoever. An accurate evaluation. As I bring a hand to my forehead and sigh heavily, the bare-legged blonde in question turns in our direction. And with a grading more appropriate for a co-ed hitchhiker stranded in the Utah desert, she favors me with a nauseatingly sweet smile. Alright, let's go. No reason to hang around here all day. Studiously avoiding eye contact, I tend to play dumb. No.
何無視ってんのよ。こっちは1時間もこうして待ってたのよ。ガン無視ってことはないでしょ。ねえってば。
Abruptly switching to fluent and idiomatic Japanese you never expect from someone with her appearance, JB calls to stop me. I obey, feeling my face settle in an expression of profound irritation. What's this? Here I was thinking the owner of some cheap sex shop decided to announce his grand opening by renting a walking billboard bimbo. Well, it's just my good friend JB doing her thing. What can I do for you? You do realize you had sex with him since he was little, right? And you call him this up. Well, in all honesty, it was her master that took his virginity first, then got him into sex in the first place, and then the master told him to have sex with a drunken JB, but getting off topic here. Look, JB, I'm not particularly criticizing you. I have the greatest respect of your professional capabilities. All I'm saying is, given your age, it might be time to quit this hobby of wandering around town in clueless foreigner mode while dirty old men undress you with their eyes. No offense intended.
あんた絶対に次の移動でアフガンかソマリアに飛ばしてやるから覚悟しときなさいよね。
That might be a nice change of pace. I'm currently unemployed, you see. It really makes you realize the importance of having a nice stay.
何言ってるの？あなた今。
Halfway through the sentence, JP bites her tongue. Tachi and Makina are at my side, and we're in the middle of a public street full of random citizens. Not exactly the time or place to discuss my job.
学生なのに無職とは面白いご身分ね。
Well, I suppose not. That's why I'm enjoying a lazy summer vacation instead of polishing my resume.
ねえ、ちょっと話があるんだけど、これから少し付き合わない？
What, right now?
ええ、すぐに。
Sounds like another troublesome discussion awaits. Baby's still got a light-hearted expression on her face, but she spoke those words just now in a familiar, deadpan tone of voice. From years of experience, I know it means this is somehow related to work. Sorry, but would you two mind going back first?
はい、わかりました。
なんだよ。フレッシュな小娘2人放置プレイでそっちの存在感のない金髪とんのか。お兄ちゃんってそんな熟女好きだったか？
I'm not even gonna answer that. And also,
存在感のない金髪。
ちなみに存在感ある金髪ってのはチルチルのことな。ありゃ忘れようと思っても無理な話やで。
存在感。
interesting how that part bothers you more than the mature woman crack.
ほら、マキちゃん、風見さん困ってるよ。
わーったよ。お兄ちゃん、ちゃんとおいたせずにまっすぐ帰ってくるのよ。
Makina, I hate you so much with your frickin' grammars. I hate them. Never thought Makina would be the one saying that to me. Times are truly changing.
それじゃあ、ハルデラさん、失礼します。風見さん、先に戻りますね。
Sorry about that. Sachi promptly leaves, dragging a grumbling Makina along with her.
存在感ないかな。結構目立つと思ってたんだけどな。
Nope. Not at all. Don't take the kids' crap seriously. Come on, let's get going already. Why is that all the women in my life, regardless of age and personality, uniformly manage to give me headaches? Saki began to shut herself up in her room. Obviously, her visits to the riverbank had stopped as well. After a few minutes zipping down Country Road in JB's ridiculously flashy car, two of us take a seat near the otherwise deserted area where the incident occurred.
そう。やっぱり個人的に護衛を頼まれていたのね。
And I wasn't specifically restricted from accepting, but in any case, it's been over for a few days now. For the moment, I explained the details of my recent unemployment to JB. I expected her to be a little more surprised about Sakaki's request and my decision to accept it, but she doesn't even bat an eyelid. Kind of kills my momentum. I suppose JB may have done a little investigation of her own as a part of this whole thing with Sakaki's father.
ほら、お弁当作ってきたのよ。食べる？
Once I more or less finished my story, JB pushes a really wrapped lunchbox in my direction. Sandwiches, eh? Wise choice, Julia. I suppose even you'd be able to make these without turning the kitchen into much of a disaster zone. Weirdly gross packaging is also a little painful to look at, I decided it's best to keep that particular thought to myself.
あのねユージ、あれから私だって多少は料理も上達したって食べる前に一言ぐらい言ってから食べなさいよ。
I did say something, didn't you hear me?
もう
Why the exasperation? I apologize if I did something wrong.
もういいわよ。食べながらでいいからちょっと話を聞きなさい。
JB retrieves a small notebook from her file case, her voice shifting to a business-like tone. As directed, I listened carefully while chewing away at her egg sandwich.
先日市ヶ谷の本家で人事異動があったのは知ってるわね。
Yeah, they sent a message around. The chief of staff resigned. They appointed a successor, right?
いつもの勢力争いの結果だけどね。ただちょっと困ったことがあって、後任となった門間陸将補は国交省と強いパイプを持っている人間で、主に私鉄関連の財界人と深い交流を持っていたの。
Oh, well.
陸将補は早速こちらに接触してきたわ。異例なのよね。お偉方が就任早々、私たちみたいな下々のことに気をかけるなんて。何か理由がない限り、そんなことはありえない。一体なぜかしらね。
To deliver some instruction about the situation with Sakiki's father, I imagine Eastby's lacked direct influence over our company, but now they got a way to pressure us. Maybe even give us marching orders.
正解かどうかは私の立場からは言えないわね。ただ陸将補からは風見雄二には別の兵の中に入ってもらった方がいいのではという話も出ていたわ。笑いながらだったから冗談のつもりなんだろうけど、内心はどう思っているんだか。
It really is a fantastic job, despite the crappy salary. First, I'm pushed into a mission, then I'm yanked abruptly off it, and in the end, I get a nice trip to the doghouse for my trouble. Our employee benefit program is a shining example to the world.
ねえユージ、ことはもう国レベルの話になってきているの。あなた一人が動いてどうなるような話じゃない。
What you're telling me to do.
学園から去って榊由美子と関係を断ちなさい。そうしないと今度は命令を持ってあなたに相対することになってしまう。
You do realize Yuji's pretty much a walking army. He took down a terrorist boat all by himself and massacred highly trained assassins with a super soldier serums like himself that were subjected to that program. Even a clone of himself. He managed to kill everyone on the boat and sink the boat. And also kill his target with a pen while he was slightly dying somewhat or heavily extremely injured. I say he can do by himself just fine. I see. So keeping me off the operation itself isn't enough for them anymore. Now they want to keep me away from Sakaki herself. This whole thing has been a headache from the start, and it's clearly only getting worse. However, there's one element of JB's story that's been bothering me for some time. Sakaki's father's interfering with public assist on behalf of his private interest is understandable, if legally dubious, but on a more fundamental level, the plot's full of holes. Vague initial orders, the lack of support, the artificial abduction attempts, and the obvious radical change after Sakaki Yumiko hired me. Under a certain hypothesis, these contradictions all began to make sense. Hey JB, there's one thing I want to ask you.
何？
Up until now, I assume Sakaki's father had learned about a threat to his daughter's safety and was taking a variety of measures to protect her.
そうよ。それが
But considering all the events up until now, the relationship within Sakaki's family, and this odd pressure from the chief of staff, I started to think that the real threat to Sakaki may be her own father. Any thoughts on that hypothesis? Yeah, I've been... Oh, for fuck's sakes, I forgot again. There, taken care of. Sweet Jesus. That had been in the back of my mind all along. Sakaki Chikaki's objective was simply to protect his daughter. Inducing Ichigaya to take me off the job despite my success would make very little sense. But if the man's goals are exactly the opposite, things start to fall into place. He was probably trying to intimidate his daughter at first, and I was deployed to serve as some sort of prop in that play. The attacker's constant complaints about what they signed up for might have referred to a scripted scenario handed down from their employer. In any case, at the present moment, the identity and goal of Sakaki Yumiko's enemy appears very clear. The father's the one trying to abduct her. Isn't that right, JB? Raised hard and expressionless, JB quietly cast her eyes down. That's more than enough answer for me.
私が答えられないと分かっていて聞いているのでしょ。
Sorry, Julia.
もう
JB has her own position to consider, middle management. In my company means dealing with highly confidential matters. Can't even guess how many secrets she's obligated to keep. JB is the very model of an uber professional German with a deeply ingrained reference for playing by the rules. Nevertheless, well, other than the fact that if it's for Yuji, she would actually sacrifice anything, because Yuji was raised and adopted by his master, which is her best friend, and also she somewhat took care of Yuji too, like her own son, so it's like a double mother relationship, because they actually cared for Yuji, not as a tool, weapon, or just a waste of space. Nevertheless, I'm constantly using personal emotions and our shared history with my master to try and pry information out of her. I'm probably going to straight to hell based on my treatment of woman alone will not have the slightest qualification for heaven in any other respect. He killed a lot of people. I'm worried about Sakaki. Think I'll be getting back to the dorm now.
本当にいいの？このままで。
I'm going to be in danger if I continue interfering in the Sakaki family squabble. And from what JB told me about Ichigai's eternal situation, there's a real chance my own people might end up trying to kill me. Sakaki's alone. If I leave, she'll lose what little she has left. Now that I learned about Sakaki's past, closing my eyes and abandoning her is no longer an option. The girl spent her whole life profoundly isolated, and yet now, yet again, a group of self-centered adults are trying to tear her life apart. Although she cut herself off from others as a means of self-defense, somewhere deep down, Sakaki is still desperately hoping to be rescued. I don't know if I can save her, but if my interference can create a positive change in her life, I'm going to keep interfering. I owe that much to the woman who pulled me free of the same dark swamp Sakaki's trapped in.
ねえ、ユージ。
What?
あなた、ひょっとしてユミコのことが好きなの？
Why is it that women always go straight for the romantic explanation? You're no better than those leering gossips in the dorm.
違うって言い切れる？
At the very least, that's not what this is about. Probably something closer to sympathy.
同情ね。
JB responds in the ambiguous tone that suggests she's only half convinced.
市ヶ谷を含め監視は厳しくなるわよ。場合によっては国に歯向かうようなことにもなりかねないわ。
Suppose so.
もう一度ちゃんと考えて。ユージ、 あなた自身のことも。
Yeah, Yuji already made his choice. We didn't have to choose anything for this. Actually, I don't. No, there is one choice that we get in Sakaki's route, which would be somewhat close to the end, because we carefully planned out everything. But first, we gotta deal with this. Her voice seemed a little lonely at the end. Right, the car road roars around the bend and disappears, and that hurts my ears every time she does that. The edge of the sky redens little by little. Clouds begin to gather overhead, suggests an evening shower to come. JB says difficult things sometimes. Turning over her final words in my mind, I slowly begin to walk the road. Shower turns out to be a full-blown rainstorm continuing well into the night. My room's filled with the rushing sound of the rain outside. I sit in bed and listen, completely unable to sleep. Insomnia, not exactly uncommon for me, but today it's not the usual variety. I just can't get that conversation with JB out of my head long enough to nod off. Sakaki Yumiko, eh? Honestly, I didn't give her that much thought at first. First encounter significantly left a strong impression, but since then she's tended to fade into the background as often as not. Well, one thing I've always tried not to get too deeply involved with my classmates, and she's a deeply private person herself. At some point I recognized we were pretty similar in that regard. Little by little I developed something of an interest in her, and right now she's weighing on my mind more heavily than anything else. Standing up in my bed, I push the curtain open and look outside. It's coming down even harder than I expected. Staring at the drops of water bouncing off my windows, I feel my thoughts suddenly lurch inward. Something almost like nausea wells up inside me. On the bottom of my throat, the depths of my mind, something ugly pushes its way to the surface. Think about myself. Those were JB's instructions from this afternoon, weren't they? Funny things to ask of a pet dog. In between rough breath, I few self-deprecating words spill out of my mouth. I'm a dog, raised and trained on taxpayer money to accomplish certain jobs. I'm no different in that regard. I'm pretty much the same minus the accomplish certain jobs part, but I pretty much am a dog raised and trained on taxpayer money. And that's something of a personal family matter that I cannot go into, mainly because of lack of existence, because my mother forgot to sign the paperwork and pretty much didn't sign any paperwork when I was born. So I was actually not in any system, and I was pretty much only under government eye until I turned 17, which was sad. I pretty much had no record at all. They allow me to bear pretense of humanity, but that privilege is conditional on my absolute loyalty and success. Now I'm on the verge of ignoring orders outright, opposing Ichigaya for the sake of one woman. Is it alright to betray your country to help a single person? I say yes. My master never taught me the answer to that one. Akaki, what do you want to do? A girl whose mother disappeared into a deep bog, a young woman betrayed by her father, a human being who lost sight of herself, consumed by a sense of meaninglessness. Staring at my faint reflection in the window, I asked Sakaki Yumiko a question. Now there's no answer waiting for me. Even Sakaki probably doesn't have one. But at this rate, she won't have the luxury of indecision for much longer. The drumbeat of the rain against my window finally dies down. In the silence, the darkness outside seems to grow thicker and more menacing. Resting both hands on the window, I continue to ask the night questions without answers. It is like dawn may never come. And the next morning, we were blessed with such a pleasant weather that it's hard to believe that storm passed us, but only hours before. And I'm off to the next part.